Welcome to Origin Stories. I'm RD.
I'm Parrot.
We're telling stories behind the digital art revolution
Each week we interview top artists.
and live stream with the community.
Let's go. Today is tomorrow's origin story.
Alotta Money. Welcome to Origin Stories.
Hi, Orchid. Thanks for having me.
Of course, I'm glad that we got to do this. It was in the works for a few weeks, and here we are today. And what a fabulous day it is, because today is the day that Elon Musk decided Bitcoin was his thing after all.
Yes, and maybe an hour after it was a 2K higher, I think, something like that. And USA was still asleep, so I think we're gonna have some moves today coming, and later Asia. Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's always a pleasure to see the price of the Bitcoin going higher. I'm not sure it's the right reasons, but,
Right.
but yes, it's still good to see the price rising. It gives around me now. I have more people wanting to buy Bitcoin than I had in the last 2 years, and I was all the time trying to get them to buy Bitcoin at 3K. You know, in March last year, I was trying really hard. I was sending BTC to friends when they came home, when they were coming at home. I was installing the wallet on their phones, sending them money, and now they see that the 20, 50 euro I sent them in Bitcoin are now 250, something like that, or 300, and they want to start buying Bitcoin at the 24K. So it's to me it's stupid, you know. They do it. They want to buy now, and they want to buy large amounts. To me, it's like something like 10K euro of Bitcoin, and I think it's not the right time to do this. Yes, you can buy 100 euro per week for 6 months, but don't play like this. It's the best way to get stuck for 1 year or two if the market changes or things like that. I've been stuck for 3 years with altcoins, the bags and things like that, you know, and I was starting to get into the crypto movement, and now I would never do the same mistakes again. But seeing people around you doing the same mistakes is a bit like having a teenager at home.
Your recommendations sometimes fall on deaf ears, right? They have to
Yeah.
experience it themselves.
Yes,
But
exactly.
I like going to Alotta Money for advice when it comes to, you know, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. It just makes sense to me. Perfect. It's poetic.
Yes. Now they come.
Yes. So that is just a little preface, but why we're here, of course, is to introduce you and to introduce your origin story. And I just want to say, along with someone else who will be having their origin story very soon, her origin story very soon, I consider that you and Olive Allen are two people that come to my mind in terms of some of the most diverse crypto artists in the space. And honestly, when I go and I take great pride in doing back work and research and really figuring out someone's past so that I can come prepared. My head was spinning a lot of money when I went into the rabbit hole. And I want to read a quote, and it's from your Twitter, and then I want to pass the mic over to you. But the quote under your description is as follows. It says, crypto artist, voxels architect, Photoshop priest, VR and AR maximalist, NFT machine, and most humble visual orgasm provider in the space. And with that said, I will now ask you, what is your origin story?
Oh. So it can start when I started drawing. So it started when I was a kid. I always been drawing instead of listening at school, and then after in secondary school, I never was a good student. I was bored at school, and so I was drawing, and everyone around me was motivating me to continue to draw at school. The friends, everyone, even the teachers, sometimes were taking the drawing and putting them on the wall. So it has always been a way for me to express myself and to get good feedback from around me. So I never stopped doing this. When I was 18, I started working for association magazines. I was drawing comic books for them. Then I was contacted by a book publisher that wanted me to make a book. They said, "I love what you're drawing. I love what you're doing. You can do whatever you want. I give you money. You got 6 months to make a book." So I had some kind of a living dream at that age, that someone was paying me a computer. He paid me an Apple computer, and he gave me 6 months of salary to make a book. So the association I was working with were mostly Ecology and Cannabis Legalization Association. So I made a book about cannabis, and the book is still for sale now, more than 20 years after, and I never stopped working in graphic in the graphic industry since that time, and I had a lot of different jobs and a lot of different position, and I worked on lots of different medias. My last job was for 10 years. I was an art director for a company that organized an esports event, and who was taking care of esports teams and things like that. So I was doing everything from the set, the t-shirts, the tickets, the video, the promo video, and everything. I was doing all of this for the company.
Of course, you were doing everything, right? It fits. It makes sense. It makes so much sense. Now, are you full time in the general crypto art space now?
Since 1 year, yes.
Since 1 year. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It was I had I had time to work on personal project because I had health issues, so I had to I stopped working for the company I was working with, and I had a lot of time at home. So that's really when I started working more and more on a personal project, because I was able to work, but I was not able to work in office hours. You know, I had to take medicine, so sometimes I was able to work 2 hours there, 2 hours. So it was okay for personal project, and it was even more okay for artistical project, because I had total freedom on no deadline and no things like that. So, but it was I was kind of forced to go into the artistic way if I wanted to continue drawing, because all the things I was doing before, I wasn't able to do them. You know, it was not possible. So everything felt in place at the right time.
So do you consider that in some ways a blessing in disguise? I mean, a blessing in disguise. Obviously,
yes.
on one hand, not fun to experience something and to have to work through that, but on the other hand, it cracked the door and then opened the door fully for you to go down that road.
Yes, everything is positive. When I look where I am now, whether it is my first computer I had when I was 11, the video game industry I've been working with, the cannabis the cannabis legalization association I was in, that makes me a lot of friends in Bitcoin that are coming from the dark webs. You know, everything this mixed together was pointing me here where I am now. The only thing I regret is that I think I wasted a lot of time working for marketing teams, you know, because little by little art direction has been managed by marketing teams, and those people are not a good way to are very difficult to deal with, because now we don't really need creativity. We need to do things that worked before, so they're going to work again. So you have to copy patterns more and more, and respect graphic charts and things like that. And there's no place for creativity for about 10 years now, and I think I wasted 10 years, yes, because at some point I had no creativity at all. We were working for companies that were bigger and bigger, and when you start working with a company like Nintendo, for example, you have no freedom at all. The 1 millimeter is indifference compared to the visual they sent you, and it's coming back to you because Nintendo France is afraid that Nintendo Europe is going to tell Nintendo Japan that, etc. So voilà.
So in some ways, do you feel like that unleashed you though? Like I know you said
Oh,
that
yeah.
you feel as though you wasted 10 years, right? But maybe, I mean, I always like to try to present the silver lining, right? But
Yeah.
in some ways, do you feel like that swung you even more over to the place that you are now, where you are so very clearly boundary pushing?
Yeah. Yes, maybe. Yes, maybe I would not have been that much motivated to be free as I am now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yes. Yes. It's everything. When you look at things with distance, everything makes sense. Yes. And I'm so happy to be where I am now, and hoping it will last as much as possible, and doing all I can to make progress, to understand things, to search new ideas, and to continue on this wonderful path.
Yes. So let's go to the moment in your journey where I'm assuming this, well, I know this started a little bit before a year ago, but the moment in your mind when you said, I am going to create something in crypto art. I'm going to tokenize something.
Oh, I started before knowing anything about NFT and tokenizing. I already started working for the crypto community, and I was making Twitter banner, and most of the time I was working with people that are very connected to crypto, and that had a very specific message to send through their Twitter banner. So I would say that my crypto artist path began there when I started making a Twitter banner, and to me it was great, because I was making something like it was taking me 1 or 2 days to make a banner, and I was starting to have a pile of command of people wanting headers, and I never had that in my life. Never had people wanting me to do things because they wanting to buy things from me. Only thing I had was marketing teams and things like that, telling me to do that again because they said blue, but it was too blue, and so the freedom started there, and I also had to connect to other people ideas, and I was asking them a lot of questions about themselves, about the thing they like, the thing they hate. So I developed during almost 2 years. I did that. It started in 2017, and I developed many new way to express ideas and to express feelings than before, and that helps a lot. And then there was black box dot art, that I asked her if there was a way for me to expose my Twitter banner in CryptoVoxels. And then she said to me, I've got parcels I'm not using. If you want, you can go in those parcels. I give you the key, and you expose whatever things you want. And so I started building my own little museum there. And she liked it. She liked it so much that she asked me if it was possible for me to design the exposition. There was an exposition, an art exposition, something a cross between a real exposition in Los Angeles and the same exposition in CryptoVoxel at the same time. So I designed this place, and then people started asking me if it was possible and I started talking with people that were making NFTs. It took me some time to understand, to wrap my head around this, because that's something I always wanted to be able to make digital art, and to have all the benefits the NFTs bring to the digital art. And yes, it took me some time to realize that it was in fact a contract between an artist, a collector, and with a mathematical algorithm that validates this whole piece history and everything. And once I understood that, I never stopped doing NFTs. I started with everyone that that had a banner from me can now ask me the NFT. I will send them for free. I already did a lot of time. I mint them and I send them. I'm not doing banners anymore because I don't have time to take any commissions. I got project now till the end of the summer. And so yes, that's when I started minting my first NFTs, and yeah, then I was accepted by SuperRare at the time that it was easier to get in. I'm not sure right now I will have a chance to.
Okay, wait. So let's hold on SuperRare.
Okay.
Let me go back for one moment because I have two questions. Just give us a setting, a timeline when you first built in CryptoVoxels and you were experiencing that relationship that was then beloved and then expanded from there. What month and year is that?
2000 and December 2018.
Okay, December 2018.
Yeah.
Okay, and then fast forwarding from there, you said you were wrapping your mind around NFTs and the algorithm and understanding all of the components to that. When do you tokenize your first official NFT, and what was it?
Yeah, I will have to work to look on OpenSea. First thing I think the first thing I have tokenized was the meme. I was doing a lot of internet memes, and yes, that was the first thing. So it was when I finished the design of the place Sparrow gave me. That's when I made a little place that was the NFT section because I wanted to make NFTs, and that's when I started. So it started in December, and I started minting in December too. I think it's not it's the same month.
So it all lines up. December
Yes.
2018,
Yes.
the journey begins.
Yes, yes, and then accepted by SuperRare, and the sale records with Jivinci and Saint Nakamoto. That was totally amazing for me. It was the first time an NFT was selling for more than $1,000 at the time.
How far we've come, right?
Yeah, and it was completely amazing to me to because it was one of the first pieces I was minting, and having such success was totally unexpected, and it was very motivating. Yes.
And where does the journey go after that? So we'll continue down the chronological path, and then eventually I want to break completely free of the chronology and go where the flow, go where the flow takes us today. But just because it's so interesting to go back, and of course, origin stories, right? That's why we're here. So you get accepted on SuperRare, have the record sale, which is extremely motivating at the time. Where does your mind go so now you've wrapped your mind around NFTs, decided to get involved, begun tokenizing, get accepted to SuperRare, and now all of a sudden, oh my God, it's so well received, right?
Yeah.
And you see the possibilities and these doors open. What is your next step once you realize the power and possibility of what can lie ahead?
Learning, watching what other artists are doing on SuperRare and elsewhere, trying to understand the logic of all of this. At first, I was not seeing people buying my art as collectors, and I was not even thinking about the collector mindset, and that was something I had to discover. To me, it was just like someone on the marketplace that was buying one of the posters that he would like to have on his wall, and I was not seeing further than that. But then I saw that there was so many different reasons for someone to collect a piece of art that you had to take in consideration each one of them. For example, I remember I sold the piece 0.1 ETH to someone, to a friend that was on Twitter, and then I had collectors coming to me saying, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then I realized that, oh, okay, yes, you invest in me, and so yeah, okay, I get the point. Sorry, so many logic I had to understand, but that never changed what I was doing, because the starting point is always the same. I'm trying to make something that I would like to have, that I would like to exist, that I would like to see, and that I find funny, that makes me smile, that I know would make me smile a long time if it was hanging on my wall. That's the way I work, because that's the only guideline I find honest for me. I'm not in some. I never made any art school. I'm not in a theoretical art, and I'm more into sharing feelings with what I do, and so I make things that. And I try to make things that will give you the feeling I want it to. So sometimes it's for fun. Sometimes it's to make you think about a subject, about the future, about where we're going. But that's always something that I would have loved to have. And if it's not the case, when I'm facing something and I don't like it, most of the time I start all over again, because at some point I was thinking about something else, or I was troubled by something else, and what I wanted to say in the end is not there, and what I wanted is gone. So
it's a beautiful way to put it, and I just want to bring you in on something. I have written here fun, joy, and messaging as three components that you put it better than I could have there, but those three components come through so clearly in what you share. I mean, really, and what you share, anything from engaging in a Twitter dialogue, right? And dropping your trademark GIFs in there, which I think I appreciate more than anything, right? And then over on the artistic side, going through all of your artworks, the fun is so apparent, the joy is so apparent, and to your point, also messaging from time to time to make you consider something in a different light, but always wrapped within that joyous exterior.
Yeah, I think it's I always love people that were able to make me smile or laugh. That's why I love so much the Monty Pythons and things like that, because I think it's a wonderful way to shield yourself from the reality and to accept reality. And if you have a sense of humor, and if you have a sense of humor, you can go over things much better than if you're a drama queen, and I think it's important to try to share and to bring a little smile in the day. I wish I could have many laughs a day, and I'm not laughing easily. I'm smiling easily, but I'm not laughing easily. And each time someone makes me laugh, I bless him.
That's a good way to put it. I'm smiling easily, but not laughing easily. You're not giving away the laughs for free, right? Someone has to earn that one.
No, it's natural. I'm laughing as I am sneezing. It's not something I control, and yeah, it's not. People living with me always check what makes me laugh, because he's laughing. It must be very, very funny.
You're a good barometer for how good a joke is.
Yes, because I smile a lot. I say, I love this. That's funny too. But to hear me really laugh is something I don't do as usual. And when it happens, I'm very happy. And Monty Pythons did that to me when I first saw them, and still so far are still making me laugh. Like if I was like if I had no memory of seeing this every time. It's like the first time, most of the time with the Pythons.
Yeah.
So that's what I like.
It's a beautiful thing. So let's break free from chronology. I think this is the right way to go. It's
Maybe with me, yes.
yeah, and I like, you know, I like unique angles if they fit, and I just feel this is right, as opposed to, again, continuing just saying what happened the next month and the next month. I think at this stage, looking at how many platforms that your work exists on and how many different things that you've experimented with, I have a few things that I would love to touch on. But what I'd love to do is maybe engage in a bit of a back and forth to you and pass the mic to you first, and just grab any concept or artwork or platform, basically anything in your crypto art history that comes to mind. And I'd love for you to just speak on that.
Okay. So first thing that comes is would be my collaboration with artificial intelligence.
Okay.
Because I love to collaborate with other artists, and when I discovered let me check the name of the website because I can't remember. But when I discovered the possibility of creating generated images, it was to me like if I had someone trying to tell me something, and I was taking the randomness. I was trying to take the randomness of the image I was getting like a message. What is it trying to get from me? And each time I did that, there's always some kind of logic that comes out of it. There's a piece that Basileus has it's in his in-house in CryptoVoxel in the Starlight Villa. And the day I started working on this one, it's Riot 41, the title. And when I started working on this, I had policemen showing, and it was like a mix between robots, machines, and policemen. But the color were blue dark. They had some kind of helmets and things like that. And I said, okay, I want me to make some kind of police resisting a riot, because they had shields, they had everything, and to me that was totally amazing. And it is right now still when I want to have a little pleasure, I go to, what's the name of this website? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Everybody knows it. That's the main. That's it. Artbreeder.com. So
oh,
now,
Artbreeder, yes. I was just discussing Artbreeder with Parrot the other day. Yeah.
Yes, it's amazing, especially now that you have the landscapes, and creating almost all of my landscape now are coming from AI, because you can modify you can decide to have more or less structure, more or less buildings, more nature, more trees, things like that. You have lots of things you can play with for hours till you get what you want. And as I'm always working with collage, I steal things and I put them in my artwork. It's amazing, because I have an infinite place to go and pick, and still skies and still mountains and things like that. And yes, and sometimes I just take little elements of a landscape or a face. It's amazing to collaborate with AI, and I love the way that AI could be the driver of the piece, and the randomness. Finding some common points on the randomness that the machine is giving me to tell the story she wanted me to tell.
I like how you approach that, because I think another way to approach something like Artbreeder is to just take a landscape, right, and be done with it, right? You take a beautifully generated landscape and then make it art and call it a day. But I'd love to hear you discuss it, because you're speaking about spending hours of bringing it to life, right? Not just accepting it as is, but manipulating all of the variables just so, and then incorporating it with other uniqueness. I think that just strikes me as you're elevating the tool that exists to make certain aspects easier.
I think this is what AI will be about in a few years. It will help us to design to it will yeah, what is the term? You earn time. You know, time you would have spent study a cherry tree, for example, and see where the mass could be and things like that. With the AI, you click on a button and you have 80 different cherry trees coming up, and you can change the size of the of everything. So that's I think. In a few years, you're going to watch a movie. At the start of the movie, you're going to select who you want as an actor. If you prefer the man to have the voice of this man and the woman to have the voice of this woman, and at the end the story would be better if it was the story of Star Wars 2 than you know, and you will design things. AI would help us design exactly what we want. And as an artist, you can do it right now, and I think as everybody will be able to do it for anything soon. Yeah, the AI will know the kind of the colors you like, the things you like, and it would be able to design clothes for you. It will be able to pick the right movie, to pick the right actors, and to pick the right story, and to make the movie that is specially made for you, exactly like you would like you need or you want at a specific time.
So life will be a grand choose your own adventure.
Yes, let's hope people will have lived enough real adventure to know what virtual adventure they want.
That's very true, right? I think it's interesting you frame it that way, right? The first generation of crossover probably will have lived enough to be able to make those types of decisions, but then the generation that comes after that,
Yeah,
they're making
yeah.
their adventure decisions already based in that kind of. Very interesting to play this out and see where the future
Yeah,
goes.
it will. I think it will get abstract for us at some point. At
Yes,
some point, we'll have our grandkids living in virtual worlds that does not look at all like anything we were calling virtual world.
yeah,
It will look like, you know, anything. There will be bubble inside an aquarium, and I don't know, sharing megabytes of information. You know, at some point, I think we're gonna be totally lost because everything we built right now is still connected to the ancient, to the old world. You know, because we knew what it was. We appreciate the fact that now we have a TV, video camera, and everything in our hand. Yes, for my daughter, what is a video camera? What is a, you know, she everything she know is a little item like this that does everything. That's the movie, that's the video game, that's everything, and everything we create right now, and then we can see it in the metaverse. Most of people are creating things that already exist in real life. When you ask, when you see all around, you see structure that looks like malls, that looks like a theater, that looks like banks. We are still in the reproduction of the real world, and the next generation will not have all of this, and will totally create from things that already were totally created and inexistent the generation before.
yeah. So we start to separate and have a whole new layer of uniqueness that is just custom and organically the metaverses.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting times.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Interesting times now to be in this position in history where you can see forward and you know conceptually what will happen, but you don't know the specifics of. And then if you reach out a little further, who the fuck knows?
Yes.
But,
Yes. Oh, yes. It's a real new world at many. I see many different worlds opening, and so many things to create and to discover. Not even inventing, but just discovering. Yeah, there's so many things to discover, and this is this would be the worst time to have a solar flare.
Very true.
Because where we are now is a turning point for humanity, as everyone in crypto sees that, and we really are at a turning point where we have to, the technology has to be controlled by the people before before the states and the government take the lead. We right now we have a one or two rounds in advance, but we should continue to run fast, because they're once they will get the blockchain, once they will, if they can use the blockchain like they would like to, it's going to be 1984, you know. And we have to create our own economy. We have to create our own network, because right now we see that centralization, what centralization is, and when the recent event and the Wall Street bets and things like that, we see at which point everything is centralized, and there are people you can't fuck with, and those people have not been elected by anyone, and they control the one that we have voted for. So it's time to decentralize everything and to take back freedom that we lost so many time ago, you know, so long ago. We never really had freedom. When you look at the economy and money, as soon as someone had enough power to say, this is what my soldiers are going to pay you with, this is what I want you to pay me with, we lost everything at that time, because money was just like Said Antonopoulos, was just a way to communicate value between us. And it became a way to control us, because we need to communicate this value, and so the one who controls the way we communicate controls us.
I find it so interesting, the recent events where, you know, regulators came down essentially on the Robinhood app, right? And I'm sure you're familiar with that, yeah?
Yeah.
So when the regulators come down, I find that so silly, the discussions that are happening, you know, between various Wall Street personalities and Robinhood. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, Wall Street has done this to the common person for decades. This is something that is dressed up, yeah, is formalized, is just so, and has been done forever. And now a bunch of people banded together and figured out how to do it for themselves, and in the process negatively impacted some of those in Wall Street. And when the snap decision from Wall Street's perspective is shut it down now, because we're going to get hurt bad. And then Robinhood capitulates to that and accepts that and shuts it down in the moment to prevent them from getting hurt. That's a troublesome game.
Yes, and not only Robinhood, it was the same with eToro, it was the same with all. It was impossible to buy any GameStop stock, or to make any move. And yes, that's something they do, and that's something that they can do because the rules apply only to them. And now that people are starting to play the blackjack, they want to change the rule, and the cards have already been dealt. So to me, it's an amazing moment we are living, because they realize that people now understand. People now are getting what this whole mess is about, and they're starting to fight back. And I think they never thought it would happen, because there was no protection. You know, they could have said you don't have the right to make any trading under 50K, for example, and so many people wouldn't be able to make any move, and it would have been perfect for them, because they have way more than 50K to trade. And so I think the whole thing was not thought enough, and now they're realizing it, and they will want to change the rule of the game, so so the people could not take money back from the billionaires, and now people are seeing this in plain light, and there's a new generation of traders that was playing this game, and that now is realizing that it is rigged, and they're gonna maybe try another one that could be called crypto and decentralized finance and decentralized exchanges. And I think it's the greatest promotion we could have for decentralization, what's happening right now. People are realizing they're fucked. People are realizing that they're grabbed by the balls, and they can't do anything. And the least bit of hope can be killed in a second, because they're controlling everyone. And when they give a phone call to Discord, and Discord shuts the server. When they give a phone call to Robinhood shuts the trade. And by the same logic, you can end up in jail or killed. And people realize that now.
It's very true, and it is. It's a severe situation when you think about it too hard and from a different angle. And I do think there are going to be a lot of people looking to play the game differently and or change the game completely. And obviously that's where the crypto landscape comes into play. Let's talk about your most recent work of art on Rarible, tokenized, which I think fits so perfectly into this discussion. Can you speak to that?
I was so excited. I had to do something. I had to do. I was looking at Reddit. I was looking at on Discord at every speech. I like this energy of people trying to take control of things, and there's so much excitement around this, because of course there's money. What you can hear is my dog that he can't wait for me to take it out, because it's the weather is good outside. So okay, I'm lost. Where was I?
You love it when people take control of things, and you use that as motivation to create.
Yes. I had this energy too, but I had to do something. So I looked at the visuals they are using, that character that is some kind of Wolf of Wall Street, when he's on his yacht, and when he's throwing money, and I looked at all the. It's not the problem they have right now is that they're in need of a leader, but there's no leader. There are some moderators that want power, like all moderators. They're not moderators for nothing. So they want to have grab as much power, and everyone now says he's a leader because he's a moderator, because he was there first, because he is the best trader of the platform, and things like that. And it's becoming a bit messy now that people are trying to get their opinion, reach them, and know more about them. But the movement is amazing. I was looking at TikTok. I never look at TikTok, but yesterday I went on TikTok looking for Doge, and it's the meme revolution. We are living a meme revolution. This internet monster that they have in front of us now should be pretty scary, because they can't stop it. You can't stop internet. Many people have tried, and it's not possible. And now there are more and more people trying to get inside this economic revolution, some from the stock perspective, some from the crypto perspective, and now it seems that we are all coming together, and that could be. So that was really exciting, and to me it was like a new comic book, a new character of a comic book, and a new superhero. It's distributing money all around. And even if this character does not exist as a person, but as a group, it really did something amazing, because when a company is shorting GameStop at, I think, 140% it was shorted. It means you kill the company. You're not even making a bet. You're killing it, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. When there's so many when so many odds, so many money put on the failure of a project, everyone will see it as a failure, and it will kill it. When people on the other side realize that just a little bit of money could make them buy and buy and buy, oblige them to buy back everything, and decide to play the same game, that becomes suddenly a real problem for them, because even if we don't have as much money as them, we are much more than them. And if we all come together, it has always been the point of every revolution. When there's too many people who want something, at the end they get it. And the way they get it is sometimes violent, sometimes clever. And this time I think it's pretty clever, and the reaction is pretty violent.
Yeah, it's attacking an Achilles heel, right?
Yeah.
Attacking a point of over leverage and exploiting that. Yeah,
Yes, and that's something they would do, and that's something the Wall Street does all the time. That's something Wall Street does with an entire country in 2008. You know, so yeah, if for once the people could get something from this, to them it's unbearable, because it means that their game could be broken very fast.
I enjoy this mental film that I'm running in my head now, which is essentially this real world event is taking place that's fairly monumental in nature, a bit of a war going on between, you know, an institution and a lot of people banding together. And then as part of my film, I then see Alotta Money, seeing this play out, getting extremely inspired and being compelled in the moment to create something right then and there, and immediately tokenizing it and immediately you know, putting that out there as a piece of the storytelling of the times. I appreciate that film.
Yeah, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes the creativity act to me is a way to solve an obsession. You know, I can't stop thinking about something. I can't stop thinking about it, and so if that makes me unable to do anything, I might as well make some art and think about it, do something while thinking about it, you know. And that was mostly what happened with my last piece. Yes, I had to do something because I was thinking about it too much.
I had to, that really sticks to me. Those are the most perfect circumstances for creation, is when I have to, and so I must, and so I do.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, where would you? So I brought it all the way into the present day and what you most recently did, but let's go back again somewhere along the trail of your crypto art origin story. What else comes to mind? What's the next thing that comes to mind?
McAfee. I have to talk about McAfee because it was he gave me a lot of trust, and when I first starting working with him, you know, McAfee is it's a character, and depending on when he was calling me, because he was calling me on the phone. Or on video chat, and depending on the time he was calling me, I had sometimes very serious. He was asking for serious things, and some of the time he was completely high, and he was asking for things that were quite more complicated, and I needed more concentration. And working for him was the best thing that happened to me before the NFTs and crypto, because I had total freedom. He was giving me a theme, you know, and I had total freedom. And he never asked me for a modification or for anything. He was always pleased with what I was doing, and he brings so much attention to my work, and I think I owe him a lot. Because I never had the chance to see him. I was supposed to go in to go and see him on his boat just before he had to escape in Cuba, and right now he's not far from me. He's a few hundred kilometers away in a jail in Barcelona. And yes, I have a thought for him right now, because I know he can't really communicate as you want, and all he can do is wait, and I think he will have to wait another 6 months before having any news about his situation. So at his age, it's quite difficult anyway. So voilà, if you wanted me to go back in time, the place where I am, when I'm attracted is when it really started to when I really started to have credibility and when I started having people evaluating my art, and then that was with McAfee.
What's a specific piece of art from that time that stands out to you as something that you're proud of to this day? When you go back and you say you had complete creative freedom, that he was never asking, you know, oh, can you change this or can you alter that? You were able to truly bring things to life as you would like to do. What's one thing you remember as a work that you're proud of?
I remember he asked me he wanted to make a credit card, a McAfee credit card without KYC, where you were a Visa credit card, and you were there was a Bitcoin address behind the card. You were sending Bitcoin to this address, and you were able to pay it with this never happened, but I had to he asked me to design the card as I wanted. I was completely free. It said he just wanted to express that it was the end of slavery. It was his point. So, I designed. I took the American flag. Every star was a pictogram of some kind of oppression that people are living in now. There was camera, there was violence, there were prison, there were cops, there were every star was a different pictogram, and the red stripe were chains. On the right side, there was McAfee's head, and the chains were exploding, approaching McAfee's head. And so he saw this, and he decided to make this his official campaign poster, and then made many visual from that. And but I like the fact that someone wanted some kind of revolutionary credit card, and he gave me total freedom to do anything I wanted on this. I never had such a freedom even on a pizza menu I worked for. So that was the way it was working with McAfee, and it was perfect for me. And that also helped me to go in the direction of doing whatever I wanted, and that also was quite new for me, at least professionally. I was doing this with many things. I did machinima videos for about 10 years where I was doing exactly what I wanted, but I never monetized anything I was doing at that time. And it was the first time that I was also earning my life and doing exactly what I wanted. So that was, to me, some kind of a huge thing.
Now, does any of your work in crypto art, can you pinpoint either an artwork or an aspect, even a background element of an artwork that pulls from your time that you just described?
I don't get your question, sorry.
So when you were working with McAfee, right?
Yes.
All of what you created in that era, right? And from the card to anything else that you did.
Yeah.
In your specific crypto art phase, right? From December 2018 to the present day. Is there any artwork in that phase that you can look at and you could say that background element or that piece of the artwork or the entire motivation for the artwork ties back to your time with McAfee?
Oh.
Is inspired by your time.
Oh, that's interesting. Yes, there's one. Yes, the cake, and a cake where when you have the base is the people holding the cake, and as you go up the cake, you have the people who control of everything. It's kind of pyramid, but in the shape of a cake, and that is purely something I wouldn't have done the same before McAfee. Everything in this in the way I was portraying, you know, the political aspects of this, were purely McAfee's. Yeah, that's the McAfee school, I would say, for me. That the all the symbols I use, and yes, sometimes I was trying to see. I was trying to see with his eyes, you know. I was trying to think with his brain when working for him, and when I worked on this piece, I was in the same spirit. Yes.
I like that. And now it is a part of you.
Yes, oh yes, it is a part of me. As any people you know, and as anything that is around you, it is you. What defines you is the sum of everything around you.
Let's go to, selfishly, I want to go to your time at Nifty Gateway, because that is how our paths intersected, when I really truly found a lot of money and I said, this is captivating, right? And the first opportunity that I had to find you, and then I eventually, and again, we're breaking chronology, right? So I'm going to selfishly interject my chronology with intersecting with your work, and that is with your partnership with Rare Boards. It was right around that time, and I had found you just prior to that. And I said, oh my gosh. But that was the first time that I really had an opportunity, because I had missed the drop prior, and I want to get back to that in a second. But then I see this Alotta Money dartboard and a lot of various darts that you can purchase. Talk to me about that.
Oh, that started with a Discord message they sent me about they wanted a dartboard, and they wanted me to work on a dartboard. But as I was seeing the things, you know, there was not much freedom on the dartboard. You know, the things have to be very specifically at specific places. And then we started talking, and then it evolved. And I asked if it was possible, for example, to have a background, you know, some kind of a wall I could design, and in the middle there would be the dartboard, so that gives me more room to express myself, and even if in the end I have found ways to design the inside of the case of the dartboard, and that's where it became a wall, and then now it started becoming rooms, you know, and there's more and more room to express, and the idea to design 3D items, you know. For me, it was I'm designing 3D items in CryptoVoxels, you know, but I'm not. I've never worked this way, you know, with professional 3D professional people who make beautiful things, and so that was really exciting. And the whole point of the dartboard was trying to pop the bubble, you know, you're trying to kill fiat with your darts. So the darts were the different weapons we have against fiat. We have the code, that is one of the darts. We have the rocket. We have the bomb, that is the community, and that was to me making a lot of sense. And I'm working now on a second board. I will have to work soon on a second board with them, and I will try to find something that is also connected to the game itself, and the fact that we are throwing little pointy things on a circle.
Yes.
Yes, and that to me that was really exciting, as everything I've never did before. I'm working right now on another project. I'm not sure I can talk about it, but it's the same thing. It's actually each time I have a new media, it's very exciting for me, and everything that become a real object, like I have a 3D printer. It's amazing to design things and to print them, and everything that turns into a real item is always to an artist special, because you had it in your hand, and now you have it in your hand, and that's magic, and that's a magic we can all relate to when you have an idea and it become a reality. So it's an instant gratification to work with something like those 3D darts, and because you create something that is real, that have a use case, a physical use case, and that you know that people will watch and enjoy more than they want because they have to use it.
Yes, and it's so tangible when you can
Yeah.
hold it. Yeah.
Yes, and it has a real life. All of the things I do have a virtual life, so I like sometimes to have a thing that become real, like
Yes.
stickers. Even printing a sticker for me is magic.
And it adds something. It adds something to the whole
Yes,
experience.
yes, and you know it's very selfish. You know, as an artist, it's very satisfying,
Yeah.
very satisfying to see this. The to see people working on real use case of your art, and
Yes.
still have the total freedom to design what you want, not like making a shampoo bottle. It's I would love to do a shampoo bottle if I was totally free to design the shampoo bottle. I would love
Well, maybe
that.
this is maybe we clip this out and send it to Head and Shoulders or something like this. You
Yes,
know.
yes, they have something in common with the crypto community. They have a name, and that is quite famous for us.
See, there you go. I feel like we have to get this done now.
Yes.
So let's go the bookends to the dartboard on Nifty Gateway specifically are two big Alotta Money drops, and the style, the how you brought those drops to life. There are some similarities to me when I look at each. Can you talk about? I mean, you could take any of the artworks involved. You could take Prime Example. You could take a Troubled Man. You could any of the artworks involved in either of those two drops. They're such fascinating artworks. How do you bring them to life? Because there's a lot going on in each of them. A lot of components, a lot of ideas, and a lot of animation as well.
I always start by one single ID. Most of the time, very simple. For example, the faceplate. So the idea was the character had a sword in his hand, and the sword was if he move. I thought if he move his arm, he cut his face. If I move his arm, he cut his face. That's where it all started. And then I just start by doing this. I start by cutting out the face, cutting out the arm, drawing what's behind the arm, because when it's going to move, we're going to see what's behind that the painter has not painted. So I have to cut all the elements, and while I cut all the elements, most of the time the other IDs arrive, and there are other IDs that arrive when I'm animating the piece. And honestly, I'm having fun on it. As soon as I have an idea that makes me smile or that I find exciting, I have to test, I have to try, and most of them don't end up on the piece. But I have a lot of fun making something. It's really like playing a game to me. It's I can't call it working. It's not working at all. It's having fun. I'm having fun. I'm playing around with element and things. And when I find that something is funny enough or look good enough, I try to incorporate it where I want. I move it, not that you're seeing it too much. It moves too fast. I change a lot of time everything before I'm happy with it. And
And so,
it gives me time to add even more things.
and so Faceplant was the one-of-one auction on the most recent Nifty Gateway
Yeah.
drop. Something else interesting that you did, you created quite the trailer in anticipation of the closing of that auction, and then you tokenized the trailer.
Yeah, and I sent it to the collectors who bought the piece. Yes.
Which is just such a nice touch. I've referred to that in several different conversations since then. When you made the decision, well, number one, when you just created the trailer, right? I remember that day, and I remember watching it and laughing. Right. Speaking of what you said, right? You smile easily, and it's a little bit difficult to have the true organic belly laughter. I
Yeah.
laughed. I promise you, I laughed when I watched it. And then when you said after the auction was won and after everything was wrapped up, that you tokenized it and sent it to the winner of the auction, I just thought that's such a nice touch. And again, I've mentioned it to several people since as an example of something that is such a nice surprise?
Well, I had the idea. I said to myself I could tokenize it and send it to the collectors. And yes, that's something I try to do. I also sometimes send the art to collectors. I have. I'd like to, I'm very thankful to have people buying my art and as such price as the face plant went. So I feel I have to see if I can do anything, if I could bring anything more and say thank in a better way, in the best way I can, I will, And this trailer was exactly the kind of creative obsession, I had the end of the auction was a few hours later, and I was not able to think about anything else. I was checking the price, I was checking the Twitter and everything, and so I had to do something. And I made the trailer to exercise this and to be able to keep thinking about it and still do something.
A very pleasant distraction in the moment, right?
Yes, but auction, that auction does not get old for me. Whatever the auction, it's a stress from the moment I wake up in the morning till it's over. And even when it's over, and even when I had some amazing sales and some amazing things, I do not realize the day. I have to sleep over it, and then the next morning I realize, and I start being happy the next day. But the day it arrives, I'm not realizing. I'm just glad it's over and it went well. But not more than it's
Well,
very stressful for an artist, I think, to this auction process.
Oh, sure. Well, especially okay, you go.
Yeah, because it really is a valuation of your work, whether you want it or not. I don't know. I think it's Warhol was saying you don't have to judge your art. You let other people judge it, and while they make their opinion, you continue making art. But it's pretty hard with the auction system. It's becoming more and more fast and more furious with platform like Nifty Gateway. So the dose is becoming more and more strong, and you take them all in a row.
It's very true, and especially sometimes how they happen, right? In terms of there's some early bids, and then there's this period of time where everyone calms down, and then waits, and then it's the end, and then all of a sudden everyone boom, 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 boom at the end.
Or not. And that's what's weird with 24-hour auctions like Nifty Gateway, because there's a lot of action on the day the collection is launched, because there are a lot of people on the website to buy the open edition and things like that. And then during 20 hours, there's nothing. No one is coming to the auction. And it happened to me that the next day people was already on the next drop and were thinking about something else. Everyone who seems excited the day before was not excited this day. And I saw that also with auction. Sometimes I want to I'm showing part of the thing I'm working on, so it looks like the eyes of the people get used to the art piece, and then when you release the piece, there's less excitement than there was when you were making the teasers. And so right now I decided most of the time to show the artwork the day the auction starts, because that's when you get the most excitement for a piece. And the next day people are already on something else. Yes, that's cool, but they're gone to another thing. That's learning every day.
Yeah, indeed. Short attention spans, and part of that is a function of how much experimentation is going on in the space, and how many artists are putting out more and more material. But yeah, I think someone like yourself is doing a fine job of still standing out amidst the noise, no matter what. One more before we're going to play a game soon. Okay, we're going to play the lightning round. It's coming. But just before we get that, there's one more place I wanted to go, and you had mentioned briefly the concept of speed, right? The concept of playing with the pacing of your art. in some of the animated qualities. I want to go to a trebled man, because one of the first time that I ever watched a trebled man, it was one of those artistic pieces that it built on itself, and it became surprising, and it became, to go back to a word I've used many times, it became joyous, because it was one of those. You familiar any of these shows like Family Guy and these kinds of shows? You know those scenes in the show where they hit a joke and then they keep repeating the joke over and over and over again, and you don't know when the scene is going to conclude, and so it becomes this raucous laughter, this wild moment. That, in a different way, as the pace builds of the trebled man playing, I reached this mental moment of, I don't know how fast this is going to get. I don't know when this is going to stop. I don't know how much lightning is going to jump, off of the instrument. And it was an incredible first experience that I get with a small percentage of art. There's a lot of amazing artwork out there, but that specific emotion is rare. Can you talk about that process of picking up speed and intensity and excitement in that artwork?
I test on myself. I test on my. I try to see at what point it should explode. At what point it should be more funny. It's like in humor there's a lot of rhythm and pacing. It's very, very important sometimes to take a pause, and what you were describing, the repetition. The repetition is, first you laugh because you see something, then it repeats, then you laugh because you know that the one who did it again because he found it funny, and then it's like when everybody starts laughing in a room because just one person started laughing. At some point you're laughing because you're laughing and someone is laughing, and you don't know why you're laughing, but it's becoming there's a kind of energy that makes you laugh more and more. And on the treble man, I was hearing what he was playing when I was animating.
Do you have that track?
Yes,
Yeah?
I had some kind of AC/DC solo, in my head when he was playing, and I wanted it to stay musical. I wanted it to sound like it was in my head. So I pasted to this music I had of a guitar solo that was ending on a very, very high pitched note, with the guy taking out his glasses in the end. And yes, and I don't know, I played it hundreds of times before and even when I say it's okay, I wait till the day after, and I watch it again for a good amount of time before deciding this is the ending, the last version. Yes, because there's always something I think it could be done better. It's just half an hour more. Come on, let's do this. And
so as someone who has that thought process, right, about someone who is so meticulous and experimental and is always finding, like you were talking about CryptoVoxels with me earlier, and it's always finding like the next detail or the next level or the next something to stack on. When it does come down to the art platforms and submitting artwork to the platforms and saying enough is enough, how do you decide, okay, I could keep going, but this is the moment where I need to let it leave my hands?
At some point, I cannot keep going. That's
yeah, okay.
Because at some point, I know that anything I will add will disturb one of the things I have. It's a balance, I am looking for a balance. I don't want that one element take too much importance, or unless I decide it, unless I want it. So sometimes just adding a little something more could disturb the whole message, could give you some kind of disinterest of the eye because everything is too symmetric or something. But so I add as much thing as I can, and when I stop, it's really because after that it's going to be really too much. There's no way I can add anything. I know when to stop it, I think. I don't have hesitation on when to stop adding new things. I should work on the time I spend adjusting them. I spend way too much time, I think, adjusting them, because in the end, there's some details I'm not even sure anyone would notice. But at least when I mint it, I'm not ashamed.
Yeah, but you know in the
Yes.
end, right? All right, are you ready for the game?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, lightning round. First thing comes to mind. If you want to go off on a tangent and expand upon anything, you're welcome to, but it's designed so that you can just keep it flowing.
Okay.
Okay, 10 topics. Topic number 1. First thing that comes to mind, Wall Street.
I always think of this movie, The Wolf of Wall Street. This is to me the essence of what it is. It's a game of cocaine, of people full of cocaine, who doesn't give a shit about anything else than themselves, and it's a rush for more money, regardless of the pain that is behind it.
Mm-hmm. Number 2. Your favorite piece of art, and of course there are a lot, but the first one that comes to mind, favorite piece of art that is not your own.
You mean NFTs or general art?
Let me split up. If I may, I'll go 2A and 2B. Let's go first
Okay.
in NFTs.
In NFTs, it would be the bull of Trevor Jones bull.
Picasso
I think
bull.
it's the piece that anyone in crypto would like to have, in my opinion.
Yes,
it's beautiful. It tells many things, and it represents all that we are living, and all that we are trusting in Bitcoin. So yeah, that would be this one.
Shout out to Trevor Jones. How about a piece of art outside of NFTs?
What would be a Francis Bacon? That would be some self-portrait of Francis Bacon, the portrait he made when he had his face completely broken by his strange sex activities. And there's this auto portrait of him with half his face completely red, and you can feel the pain. You know, he was in love with pain, and he has found a way to make you feel the love he had for pain with this picture. And to me, that do not like pain, it's very impressive, because it makes you almost desire to feel this as the way he was feeling it, because he describes it very sensually, even if it's very dark, because it's bloody, it's red, in his face is completely distorted. When you know that this is what he was looking for in life, he found a way to communicate this even to people completely out of this logic.
Very interesting. I'm gonna have to look that. I'm gonna have to look that up. I hear Francis Bacon a lot as an inspiration.
Oh yes, it was a very tortured mind, and but he invented so much things, and there's so much. There's when I look at the Francis Bacon piece, I almost see a 3D piece. You know, there's a lot of depth in the picture, in the way every dark stroke is very at the first plan. You take it in your face, and everything that is organic is always on another level behind, and everything is amazing in his work. But it's a scary character, and it's someone who had a terrible life. Inside it was hell, yeah, for sure.
Sometimes a torturous experience produces very impactful art on the other side. Yeah,
exactly. That's exactly the case with Bacon.
Number 3, Bitcoin.
Freedom from the banks, freedom from all the institutions that are taking that are at the time. I think what we are calling freedom and accepting as freedom is not, and people have to realize that we're in some kind of slave state, even if it's a very hard word, but we're at that we're in a Huxley situation, you know. We have people buying things and thinking that the freedom is to buy things.
Mm.
And to buy entertainment and to buy things. That's the freedom, and that's the only freedom they have right now. They don't even have the freedom of what they buy, because this is forced into their brain and into their mind, and the need is that are created by the same people who are controlling them. So Bitcoin, yes, freedom. That I think when I first heard about Bitcoin, I saw a little light. There was no light for me, you know, and I saw a little light when I heard about Bitcoin, and I got close to the light. So to me now it's a big light, but
Yes.
I know that to most people it's still a tiny little light, and we have to show them where it is.
And then they will get to your stage where you see a brighter and brighter
Yes,
light at the end of the
yes,
tunnel.
because when you get closer, all you see is Bitcoin. That may be not a good thing, but can become blind. But that's to me that's a very good idea and a very good solution to many of our problems, and because the common point of all of our problem is just a small bunch of people.
Yeah. Number 4, CryptoVoxels.
CryptoVoxels, playground. It's a playground. It's a place I wish to see evolving as a second world, you know, as a place where people could have uh, places to meet friends, places to meet to have professional meetings, places to show their to have some kind that could be some kind of Facebook for people. You know, you could have places that only your family or friends could visit, where you could expose and show. I want people to. I think CryptoVoxel is easy to get. It's easy to build. It's easy to customize your environment without asking for anyone around to do it, and it runs on computers, on phones, on any mobile device. So I think people would have a lot of fun in CryptoVoxel, and if they were making it their playground too. It's the ideal place right now to have fun building and because it's very simple. It's simple, and it's just by sharing an address. You take people, you give your credit card. You don't just credit card. You don't give your credit card. You give your visit card. I don't know the name. And on this, you have a QR code, and people could go inside your world, inside your shop, inside your museum, and I think that's what's going to happen in I don't know when, but there would be no way for anyone not to have a presence in the metaverse in a way or another. We will have to. Everybody will need to have an existence, an avatar, and a place.
A home address.
A home address, exactly.
Yeah. Number 5, Async.
Async. The day revolution. The day Conlam talked. He asked me if I had half an hour to spend for. He wanted to show me his project, and I had no idea what it was about, and I was expecting something that I would not be able to understand, like most of the DeFi project people are, or things people are talking to me about. I'm sorry, most of the time I don't get it, man. and then you come with this PowerPoint, and on his PowerPoint there was a landscape. There was, I think, a rabbit and a duck, and he explained that how the layer were working, that the owner of the duck could decide of the position and the size and the color and the state of the duck and things like that. And then he explained to me that with the same logic, it was now possible to grab any data on the internet and to link it to your piece and to have your art change. And I was in the obsession. You put me in the obsession circle. I had to do something as fast as possible on this because it was, and I'm still completely amazed by the possibilities and by the things we have to explore and discover with programmable art. It's limitless. Everything is possible, and even at a simple even just most of the time I think people are working on night and day or seasons or things like that, you know. Even simple changes like that can be amazing. It can be totally different from an artist to another, just this simple thing, and the art is programmable, so there will be even more, there will be software like possibilities. Say it's amazing, and I really I'm excited and I'm honored to have been part of this adventure from the start, being part of the first supper and everything. It was fascinating because every artist that was involved was super excited. Everybody understood what the meaning of all of this, because Conlan took the time to explain everyone during half an hour exactly what it was, and to me it was it is a revolution, because we still have many surprise there will be many surprise coming from programmable art.
A revolution.
And we are working on things, new things that have not been done before yet.
It's exciting.
Yes.
It's an exciting platform for sure. One that I have earmarked to dive deeper and deeper into. And I'm sure I'll get lost at some point.
Yeah.
Number 6, and this may be hard for you because you've tackled so much, but maybe you do have something out there on your radar, a concept that you have not tackled yet, but that you eventually want to explore.
Avatar creation. 3D avatar creation. I want to explore this, or at least 3D sculpture for the metaverse. I discover that I was much better in 3D when I was in VR, and when I was working with VR tools, because all the sense of proportions and things like that are so obvious when you hold the piece in your hand, and when you turn it around, and when you make it extra big to look inside and extra small to look it from it has, to me, it has nothing to do with the keyboard and a screen, you know. And so I'm very, very excited, but I need to invest time in this. And as I'm someone who has difficulties to say no to good projects, I'm swamped until the end of summer, but I would really like to spend 1 month just exploring 3D creation, VR 3D creation, and after that, painting on 3D or things like that.
Wonderful. Number 7, dream collaboration. Someone that you have not collaborated with that is realistic, alive, and in the space. Someone that is a dream collaboration.
We talked about it, so it might it might happen. It was Beeple, because what Beeple is doing is always taking me back where I belong. You know, if my head is getting too big, I just have to look at what Beeple is doing, and it's taking me back where I belong. It's just amazing. The power of the creative power of this guy is amazing, and the devotion to work on a new piece every day, even when you don't have any inspiration or any need or to do something. That's something that you know, is to me what I would aim to be, knowing that I will not have as much consistency and things like that. But if I had to aim at something, it would be Beeple. Yes. So we talked about it a few months ago. I don't know if he remembers still. I would go back to him someday.
I would appreciate that. To go back to something, you know, we had said joy and messaging, And even another layer to it, sometimes the troubling image, right? Sometimes taking it to the dark side and wrapping all of that together and presenting it to you. It's both simple and complex all at the same time.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
And there's a lot of humor in what he's doing. I find a lot of humor in what he's doing, and
Yes.
it's little touches. But sometimes it's just little touches, but it always get my attention.
Yes, I would gladly witness that collaboration in action.
Yes,
So
yes, and it was supposed to be an async piece.
yeah.
So it would be a collaboration with people on async. It could be something impressive.
Okay. Number 8. What art of yours is being slept on right now? And that doesn't have to be from a money perspective. Just you may feel as somewhere along the journey since December 2018, right? Somewhere along the way, you put something out on any platform, and maybe it connected to you, and you just felt like it wasn't the right time or place for it.
The only thing I would see is now the guy who collected it has put a price of how 100 is. So now I think it's a bit of a price. But during a long time there was this. I had this this piece. It's called. I have problem remembering the name of my own piece. It's terrible. I'm doing too much. I think the empire crumbles at the end of the revolution. It's logic that I can't remember such a long title. And it was at free ETH for a long time. Excuse me.
That's it.
And yes, it was at free ETH for a long time, and I was not understanding why people were not getting much attention on it, because at the time ETH was not very expensive, and I was selling piece at like 9 ETH or things like that. And this one, I really love this one because I spent a lot of time and thinking on this one. Well, I'll send you the link.
Yeah, please.
This is the empire crumble at the end of a new revolution on OpenSea.
Fantastic! I cannot wait. That's actually one that I do not know, so I'm looking forward to diving in.
You have all the big places of the financial world. You have the Federal Bank, the European building. Everything is in ruins. There are some kind of ghosts of traders that are going to the sky, and there's an apocalyptic scene where you have all the banksters and people who fed Bitcoin in general sitting in the trash and things like that, and hoping for a better future. And in the background you have a gigantic tree and growing, and in the middle of this tree, between the branch, you can see the tree as the shape of a Bitcoin logo.
Fantastic! I cannot wait to keep expanding my my perception of Alotta Money's work. Let's go to number 9. And how about we go? I know you mentioned Trevor Jones and the Picasso Bull, so he is not having this issue right now. So number 9 would be, what artist in the current space is being slept on right now that you feel deserves maybe a little bit more eyes and attention?
There are many. There are many of them. I really like what Forlenza is doing. He's working in 3D. I think he must have some kind of the technical common point with Beeple. Look at Forlenza. Who else? Didiera also slept on. Bananakin, one of them too. Yes. Sorry for.
No, this is good. I'll get these names. I'll get these names from you after and put a little Twitter post out, and then maybe a little less slept on once we all dive in and explore, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Number 10. If you could instantly acquire any other artist's skill set to infuse with your own, who is it and why? Think of it like the Matrix. You could insert a chip, and it's immediate.
I will go full Beeple once more, because what I really lack, what I really want to have is the power of 3D, you know, being able to do my, exactly what I do at the time, you know, my collage, but instead of doing them in 2 dimension, using 3D items, you know, and making composition and maybe sometimes camera moves or things like that. And that is something that that Beeple is mastering. So I would go once again Beeple and not be original at all.
That's okay. That's okay. It's an honest answer. I can appreciate that. And then I'll give you a quick bonus, and this is the end of the lightning round, and it's something that I see visually that I have to know about. Mario.
Yeah, Mario behind me.
Yes.
I'll take you here. I'll take him here. Mario, he has his Bitcoin mask.
I like that. And he has the raised fist, right? It all fits.
He's starting to get angry. Yes. I have many, you can see them, but I have many toys. I am still a kid.
What is the brief story behind Mario?
The what you say?
Like the story behind Mario. How did it enter your home?
Oh, I have always been a video game addict. I always play video games. So you just see Mario, but there's no real story behind Mario. I saw it. I said I have to buy it, and I have several dozens of other things around me that are connected to things I like, to movies I watch. You know, the kind of geek collection with a very low female acceptance factor.
Fantastic. So Alotta Money. We've been a lot of places. We've been a lot of places, and I want to end similar to how we begin. Right, we begin by me asking you, what is your origin story? And something that Parrot and I like to say is, today is tomorrow's origin. Right. So if I were to ask you, what does tomorrow hold? What is next? What's the first thing that comes to mind there?
What is next? All I see right now is personal project. You know, I have. I'm doing a lot of work in my apartment. I'm also trying to. I'm right now working with lawyers to get an answer from the French taxes to know exactly where I am as an artist who make NFTs in France. And as I am the only one asking the question, it costs me a lot in lawyer fees. And that to me, the future right now is being able to really make a living of what I'm doing. That's my next step, to officialize all of this in a country that have no clue what I'm talking about.
This is an intricate and probably something that will give headaches from time to time, but hopefully you come up with the appropriate answers.
Yes, it's coming along. Yes.
Good. Yeah, I would love to see the path just be absolutely clear for you to do as you wish, when you wish, because I think that's what we're all enjoying. So a lot of money. Our total pleasure to have you on Origin Stories and do this and walk down your historical pathway. Yeah,
the pleasure of talking with you. It's like talking with a friend. It was totally relaxed and very, very. I appreciate this interview very much.
Fantastic, and we may have a dart tournament in the future. So, everyone.
Yes, I'll be there to watch and to say who plays well or not, but I might not play.
That is okay.
I might not show how bad I am at this game.
I don't think I'm all that great either, but we'll see when the time comes. All right, A Lot of Money. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you.